Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about Helluva Boss. Right now it's just myself and Lotus. We're
Forgot to say what episode number we're on.
to 25,
I
I
don't
think.
know. Your guess is as good as mine. It's not my job to keep track of that shit.
I
Not
think it's
anymore.
I think it's 25. But anyways, right now it's just me and Lotus. We might have some more people. We should anyways.
The
It's
keyword is should, though. I also do want to apologize in advance in case anything does get picked up by my mic. I live with a drummer, and it's also very hot in my room right now, so I've got a fan going. So if you hear any feedback, I do apologize, but there's nothing I can do about it, so yeah.
yeah.
But yes, we're going to be talking about Helluva Boss today. This is one of our favorite shows shared within the group. It's just a shame we don't have more of the group here with us.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for this episode.
I think probably one of the first few times you actually are excited for an episode. So, I will say I knew of at least Has-Been Hotel before getting into Helluva Boss, but I never really cared too much about Has-Been to actually, watch it or even Helluva Boss. It wasn't until I was watching a YouTuber by Sarcastic Chorus and his shipping videos regarding Stolets, as well as the episode reviews, what they call their sarcastic summaries. So I highly recommend watching those because they were actually really good. And it was from there that I actually got interested enough to watch Helluva Boss. And then the moment I saw the first episode, I was hooked immediately. It just something about that show just rolls you in.
Oh hell yeah.
And how was it for you, Raptor? How did you get into Helluva Boss?
Honestly, because you recommended it to the server.
And then you see all the gifs posted.
Yeah, that too. I saw the pilot and I just thought, wow, this is an interesting concept for a YouTube web series and the animation's really good too.
The fact that it was an adult show too, that did not pull its punches either.
Oh yeah. The humor
I
was
think that's
awesome.
yes. I think that's what also made it really good too, is the fact that it's really different from a lot of adult shows now, which is just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, speaking on the
Especially
matter, oh, um,
I think we're about to get into that at the same time because growing up with what is considered more adult animation for mainstream TV, mind you, this is mainstream. You get obviously your things like Family Guy, South Park, American Dad, Archer, and just like general things like that. But I don't know, it feels more like lowbrow humor at this point.
hmm,
Like almost stuff that'd be more passable for kids than it is for actual adults. I honestly think the only thing that really makes them adult is more just like the sexual jokes and the excessive use of like gore at times. That's for those episodes that are very violent heavy. But even then, it's just I don't know. There's something about current adult animation that just isn't that great on the like mainstream.
well, it definitely isn't up to par compared to Hell of a Boss. I can definitely tell you that.
I agree there. Hello Boss is just chef's kiss. It's fucking perfect.
Mhm.
You got amazing voice actors, amazing designs, amazing animation. Like the team for Spindle Horse is just they know what they are knowing what they're doing. You can see they're getting better with each episode, which is really cool. It's really awesome to see where they started with the pilot versus where you see them in season 2, episode 2 right now. It's such a big difference, and like it's fun watching them grow as a company as
Oh
well as
yeah.
artists. It's very fun.
Oh yeah, they're making love to the production of that series. That's
Certain ways you phrase and say things just comes off a little weird.
I mean, it's I think it's a pretty accurate way to put it.
It still sounds weird. That's something you'd normally hear. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. You almost remind me of a Souls purer than Lysol comment. That was an interesting one. But no, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's actually because of Helluva that I did see Has Been, but I've got to say, compared to Helluva Boss, I would probably take that over Has Been. Like Has Been was good, but the only thing that really saved it for me was Angel Dust for starters. Angel was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
But
same thing for me as well.
wait, it gets better. What really saved it for me was Alistair, the radio demon. Because
Oh,
the
that
moment
guy.
he came in, he fucking stole the show. I'm sorry. Alistair was amazing. I didn't really care for Charlie. Like, she makes a good protagonist, but I didn't
Yeah.
really care for her.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought Radio Dude was pretty good, but I liked Angel Dust better.
That's fair. I mean, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I could be remembering this wrong, but I believe Vivzie has said herself that Angel is also the most developed of the characters. So it does make sense. Like, you kind of get that feel from Angel.
Really?
Yes. Well, Angel's also like their baby too. You can tell.
Mm.
It's easy to tell. Every artist has their baby character, the one they like love the most. Every artist has one, and if they say that they don't, they're lying to you. I mean, I have one amongst my own, and you know, that's just how it is. But
By
no,
the
yeah. So
way,
go ahead.
oh yeah, I've heard something at some point that Helluva Boss was originally supposed to air on Adult Swim or something like that. I'm not
That
sure if
I
that's
don't know, and I could not confirm nor deny it, for I do not know.
yeah, I wasn't 100% sure about that. Given the humor, I personally find it to be pretty unlikely because that would take way too much censorship.
No, yeah, the way that they just drop those f bombs and everything, and don't forget like all the flipping off and everything.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know why it's so refreshing to see. Like, it's just great.
Yeah, there's no way the series would have been that good if it aired on Adult Swim.
Well, it kind of reminds me of another series. Before we actually get into the episodes talk, I was watching Saber Spark, and I'm pretty sure you know who Saber Spark is, right, Raptor?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there was an episode he did covering an animation that was made for like sex education, and it did not pull its punches, and it was fairly graphic. And I believe I forget when it was, but they were supposed to be like maybe going to a streaming service, but then they did like a episode on like what would happen if they did go to a streaming service and how everything had to be clean and sanitized and removed to even be on the streaming platform.
Oh.
Yeah, so that would definitely be the case for Helluva Boss, given like some of the humor and scenes in there, because it does kind of throw you off a little bit, especially when you're seeing Stolas for the first time.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty
If
sure that caught everyone off guard.
also the way he talks to Blitz sometimes.
To be fair, we find out why it's like that, but we'll get into that
Yeah.
in a little bit. But we'll get into this. I think we've stalled enough for our comrades to show up, and our comrades aren't showing up. So let's get this started. So let's talk about the pilot. Something very. Oh yeah. By the way, spoilers if you haven't seen it already. But if you haven't seen it, there's something wrong with you because you need to see this. I'm sorry. It's like the one thing you gotta see.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, fuck off
Go
now
watch it.
and go watch it, please.
Unless you're under 18, then don't watch it because it's not for kids. But then you're probably gonna watch it anyway. So what the fuck does it matter?
Yeah, just please don't let your parents see. Otherwise, they might bitch about it
It's
to
like those
Vivziepop.
no wait, it's like those memes. It's like everything is fine, but then it comes to a scene that like you don't want them to see, and they're gonna walk in during that time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'd be one of those kind of moments.
And
But
then they're
anyway,
gonna complain to the creator. It's gonna be this whole ass thing.
oh, it wouldn't matter anyway.
Mm,
They can complain all they want, but it also brings in the money too, and YouTube can't deny that. So, but
yeah.
anyway, moving on. So, the pilot, very simple, just introducing you to the characters. Blitz, the leader of this team, the hell of a boss himself. M&M's, Moxie and Millie, the married couple that are also assassins, just like Blitz is an assassin.
Yeah, they're a really cute couple. I just gotta say that right now.
They're very cute. Luna the Hound, The Hellhound,
Yep.
the angsty Hellhound. That's 22 years old. Which mode?
Very enjoyable character as well.
At times, at least, there are times she does get a little like I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what it is about like the way she just doesn't give a shit, especially when she like does her job.
Okay, in certain cases,
Like,
yes, I can agree with that, but eh, I don't know. I feel like she got better in season 2 because they actually gave her a little more spotlight, especially with the
yeah,
most recent episode. But that's for a little bit later.
yeah, fair enough.
But in terms of like just the pilot and just the silly fun that it was, seeing. Oh wait, I hear
Oh,
someone.
who do we have?
Speak now or forever hold your peace. Who
Well,
is it? Hey, it's Ruthless. Hey, you did show up.
yeah, I actually did show up.
It's Ruthless, guys, for the first time in like fucking was it weeks, months, something like
Probably.
that. It's been a while.
Yeah.
All right, Ruthless. I'm just gonna ask you real quick. Have you watched Helluva Boss?
Not the most was there a new episode this
This past
week?
month, yes. Like in October, there was.
I think I seen it. I probably need a recap. Or
It's
even
pretty
just
fine.
a
So long as
reminder.
you've seen it and remember enough of it, that's all that really matters.
Okay.
All right, so we're talking about the pilot. What'd you guys think of it?
I mean,
Oh.
Don't be shy.
shit
Speak your
words.
minds. Well,
I
first of all,
mean,
I thought it was fucking hilarious. Just
oh
gonna
hell
say that.
yeah, it was definitely hilarious. That was for sure. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten in as deep into the series as I did.
I have to say, I think my favorite moment in the entire pilot is towards the end, where the kid is like roasting the fuck out of all of them,
Oh yeah.
and they're all agreeing that like he's a piece of shit. And then Luna's like, "Oh hey, guess what, guys? He was the right target."
Oh
And
yeah, he
Blitz is
was the target.
And the Blitz, like the favorite line for me from that is when Blitz says, "Well, Christ on a stick, I guess there is a God." He just whips out his gun and shoots him. I'm just like, holy hell!
Hell
Oh, and then
yeah.
let's not forget the scene where like they're having a little flashback with like Luna and her like problems at work, and one of them was when when Blitz was talking with Stola, and he just breaks the phone, bashes it up, blends it, and has her eat it.
Yup.
That was oh my gosh, that was great.
Wait,
And
didn't
mind
he
you,
say
Stola's
something like? Didn't he say something like "eat it" and "crap off a bridge"
oh no, it's like
afterwards?
I think it's like the that freeway off the bridge or something, and she's like, yeah, and she's like, shit off it.
Yeah, yeah, that.
Oh wait, that's a dandy.
Wild dandy.
Oh my god.
All right, good timing.
Ruthless, I
Our,
gotta
our,
send you these beautiful selfies I took.
oh my gosh, no,
Of
I probably haven't seen them.
no, you haven't.
course you haven't. That's why I'm sending them to you.
In the chat?
Anyway, I don't know.
So what's going on? We just get started?
We're talking about each episode. We're only at the pilot right now because we had Ruthless join and then you joined. So
Oh, okay.
so what did you think when you first saw the pilot, Soul?
Sorry. I thought the pilot was awesome. I really just love the whole angle of them trying to murder the family and making it seem like a innocent family throughout the whole thing, and then they're just a bunch of assholes throughout the
No,
end
no,
of
no.
it.
Not just
The
assholes, cannibals as well.
that was the
Oh
first
yeah.
episode, not the pilot.
Oh yeah, that was the first episode.
Okay.
I actually barely remember the pilot. I remember the first episode, second episode, the main conflict of the whole series, and then Season 2.
Oh, my favorite thing out the pilot was the theme song.
Oh, when
Immediate
you want
murder
somebody,
professionals.
when you want somebody gone, but you don't want to wait too long, call the immediate murder professionals. That was actually a really catchy tune. I have to agree with Millie. I loved it.
Yeah.
Moxie was just being a little dickhead about it. Like that was a very good tune. Good on
Yeah, he
Blitzo.
was. That was pretty catchy.
Oh, it definitely was.
I
give
mean,
credit for that.
Moxie is literally the butt of the joke, like the butt end of like a lot of people's jokes. And
Almost more like Blitz's at the very least. So not so much when it comes to Millie, because obviously, like, they're the power couple.
Isn't it the pilot where Stolas calls him and he just like has that very raunchy phone call?
Yes. Well,
Where Blitzo is just there like, oh, this is existing. Alright, Burns' phone.
where he breaks it and then like crushes it and blends it
And feeds it to
Like,
Luna.
and feeds it
Where
to
the-
Luna.
Where the big
Okay.
ITTYL meme came from.
Pretty much. Pretty much. But leading that into episode 1, Murder Family, where we have the official changes and whatnot to casting and whatnot, and where everything kicks off.
You got the sweet teacher. Then finds out what's happening with her husband.
Ooh.
Gosh, that scene was interesting.
Yeah.
So, kids, I had to take care of some business. They're just watching it all on the camera.
But if you listen to what they're
Yeah.
actually saying too, you're just like, oh my goodness. I mean, some of you guys heard what was said, right, during the call and the the act.
Wonder how
Yeah.
they're gonna cover it up when it airs on Disney Channel.
Oh my gosh, they probably just cut the entire episode,
Yeah, got the entire
I think-
season.
the entire series.
I think that whole series would not be even be possible to put on Disney without them being like, no.
No way in SAC would that.
Only if
make it
Disney had a Adult Swim equivalent.
I wouldn't even think then, because even then, Adult Swim still like censors a lot.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
they would even make it much on Adult Swim either. Me and Lotus were just talking about that like a few minutes ago.
Yeah,
I
before
don't.
you guys joined.
I haven't really seen them censor much. They have some pretty out there stuff.
I
mean,
Helluva
hell,
Boss definitely wouldn't have made it on there. I mean, unless they censored like and taken out like a lot of stuff.
there's been nudity on Adult Swim. There's been heavy gore on Adult Swim too.
Is it on television or online streaming version?
Well, Adult Swim? I'm just talking
Yeah.
about in general, but I mean, for argument's sake, the television.
That one I would be uncertain because I can definitely see why they would censor it on TV.
I mean, if you take aspects from Boondocks, Dragon Ball, and Family Guy combined, I mean, I don't see why Helluva Boss wouldn't fit.
I mean, Family Guy still censors though certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Family
Well, that's
Guy
because
does
they do
still-
it by default for Fox, so they have to do it for that channel, and they don't make an uncensored version because they don't see much point.
So
But
I
they-
The-
don't know.
Don't they make like an
The difference
uncensored
is
version
what
for, like,
they
DVD or
Traditionally
something?
aired on.
Doesn't Family Guy make like an uncensored version for like DVD or something?
Not really. I mean, there's not much point to it. That's why they changed the way they do their content a little bit, so they don't have to rely on DVD sales.
Oh.
I mean, who gets DVD when you can literally just stream it online?
I mean, South Park does that, but it's for, reason, shock factor.
Yeah, but like, why you just rely on DVD sales at all?
Well,
like that
surprisingly,
shit is like ancient.
well,
Exactly. That's
surprisingly,
why they don't.
I mean, surprisingly, a lot of people don't see it that way. They don't do streaming services like that's kind of why it still exists.
Well, either way,
Kind of
getting a
like
little
the
bit
I
off
mean,
topic.
the boomers.
The-
Like,
What do you
yeah,
guys
of
think in
course.
general about the plot for first episode?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like,
uh,
what was your guys' favorite parts of the first episode with the murder family in general?
it's just kind of amusing listening to you guys go on this whole tirade about that shit, and then it's like, all right, so back to the topic we're supposed to actually be talking about.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep it on track.
I honestly don't know. I will admit, the first episode I wasn't the biggest fan because I was like, eh. But afterwards, I was like, after the second episode, I found it was interesting.
I liked Stolas's new voice actor.
Probably because of that. I didn't know it was like a little bit of a big, like a bit of
How
a difference.
could you not notice the big difference? His voice was so much like deeper and sinister in the pilot, but then it goes like, "Oh, Blitzy," I'm just like, "Ow, it's so cute!"
It's a little bit
Ow!
hard to tell when he's just being over the top and dramatic in the whole first the pilot.
It's so easy to tell.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Yeah,
it
but
goes
he's
from a
he's
deeper
in,
voice.
he's intentionally trying to be like that though, so it could also be seen like he's just trying to force it to be like that
Correct
for
me if
the
Yeah, but when he's
over the
still
top
talking,
reaction.
yeah, but when he's still talking, even when he's not being that over the top, you can tell the difference. Like when he's just talking about like in my book, my grimoire, like you can
Yeah.
tell it's a different voice actor.
I would have to go back and watch it more.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
It's
but
probably just because there was such a gap between when I watched the pilot and the actual show.
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Millie also have a
Yes.
different voice in the
Um,
pilot?
in the pilot, she was voiced by Luna's voice actor.
Oh.
Hmm.
Then they got a
Yes, but
separate
then
voice actor for her
Eh.
and the rest of the series.
Yep, so then Luna's voice actor stayed and Millie got a new one. I know, obviously, Brandon Rogers still voices Blitz. He's basically the embodiment of Blitz.
Well, Millie, it's easy to tell for one reason because every
The
episode
accent.
of the first season, she gets more country until the actual country episode.
Yeah, that's how I noticed as well. She didn't sound as country in the pilot as she does in the rest of the series.
Yeah, because different voice actors. But no, yeah, I was able to tell immediately that Stolas had a new voice actor from the first line that he said.
Hmm.
Just from the win isn't it a good time?
Oh, people thought Millie had another new voice actor when that episode came out.
Which episode?
The country episode.
No, I think it was the same one. She just
Hmm.
also didn't talk a lot either.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So, other favorite moments, comments, first episode.
Not too much, except I love the banter between Moxie and Blitz the entire time.
When did we start offering that deal? When you set fire to my office in front of a client, you fucking dipshit! Now, someone please tell me that fancy book is still intact. You mean our only ticket to the top? Yeah, right here. And that's why you're my favorite, Looney. You get a tweet now. Ew, stop it. He eats it and she's like, "You're so disgusting." She's like, "Oh, enough of that. I get enough of that from my therapist." Oh, I've seen these too many times. It was not obvious enough. But if no other thoughts, we can go on to Lululand.
Lululand.
I thought that
Let's-
one.
Fuck up.
let's skip the entire intro part about it, not even talk about the song. Just like totally skip that. No talking
Come
about
on.
this.
No. We gotta talk about the
best-
song. The song
the
isn't
best
Bruno
part.
now. We gotta talk about the song.
It's the best song.
Yes. Well, one of the best songs.
True. There's only one other one I'd say was, well, two maybe, that rival it.
Well, I would definitely say the acid trip song that Moxie.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that one's my favorite. That one is my favorite.
And I do like Stola Sings, where he's singing about how he realizes how much of a fool he's been in
I
regards to
do
his relationship.
too. That one probably is the only one that ties with it for second place then. But I just love the cuteness of the original one and just how
Don't you also like Octavia too?
yeah, and I just love his like spacious, very calming serenade that he has. And
I
how
like some of the lines, like I used to think love would be fun. Now my stories have all been told except for one. Then he looks down at Via, and I'm just like, oh, that's so cute.
yeah.
It's just so sweet. And the fact that the entire message of the song is that not saying that he's always going to be there for her, like you see in a lot of other stuff when the parents are trying to comfort the kids. It's more of a, I won't always be here, but even when I'm gone, you will be okay kind of message. And I really do like that.
That was adorable.
And then we also cut to the present where Stella's just yelling at Stolas.
Yeah.
Which, what do you guys think of Stella and first impression there?
She
Total
strikes me as
raunchy
the
bitch from the gate.
yeah. She kind of strikes me as like the very. I don't know if I could say this in the on YouTube. I'll say it. A certain type of
Ruthless,
guy.
for as
Yeah.
much as I fucking swear on here, do you think it really fucking matters anymore?
A certain type of white. This strikes me as white trash bitch.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I'm sure some of us have said a lot worse here, Ruthless.
I say that part because I don't want to have some people just be like, "Oh, cancel Ruthless."
No,
Ultra
Ruthless.
cancel culture.
It's okay. She is 2% bird, 98% raunchy ass bitch.
You remember when she was double fisting in the first episode of season 2? While she was talking trash about how Stolas is a bad performer in bed.
Oh my god, I fucking hated her even more for that. I already hated her in the first season, but after that shit.
I laughed my ass off. That
What's
happened.
all that noise? That's the sound of a fucking divorce.
What the fuck was that, Stolas? That was the sound of a
fucking
divorce!
divorce!
That was like the best moment in that fucking episode.
Yeah, I love that.
Liberation. Alright, back to Lululand. I can say the humor in here was great. I didn't care for the B plot of Moxie being scammed by the Carney because Carney's their ass.
That's literally what happened in the new episode. That's the exact same thing that
I
happened
know
in the
it's
new
the
episode.
same thing, but
Him getting conned by his desires.
yeah, but like at least Moxie got something out of it. Like he got to perform in fucking Hollywood.
Honestly, anytime there's
If
a
that
B
means
plot
anything.
where Moxie is suffering, it's just great because it reminds me of Invader Zim. Just hearing that voice actor make Moxie sound like he's suffering in general.
Yeah, that's fair. I do like the banter between Stolas and Blitz in the episode. Especially the call.
Souls just looks like a dad taking his daughter to Disneyland, and Blitz is just like, I'm just here to fulfill my fucking obligation.
While casually being flirted with.
Yo.
You know, it's quite thrilling to see you on the job, Blitzy.
It's like he's wearing a big ass shirt that says, I'm legally obligated not to object.
If only that would have been great. He's just like, you both need to get a room. Blitz just runs in, hey, I am not a day hooker.
What? I said I'm not.
Prude. And flips her off. Yeah, no, Lululand is my favorite episode. I've seen that one probably the most out of all of them. Only because I like Stolas. And not to mention, like, just the dynamic with him and Octavia, and, like, he's trying to connect with her, obviously, and, like, the fighting with Stella's getting bad, and it's affecting her, and he's trying to, like, just go back to how things were, and it's like, oh, everything's fine, don't worry about it, but it's just like, no, it's not. And then the ending scene where he's trying to talk to Octavia about it, because it it is hard things to talk about, especially given the circumstances we know now that we could have inferred from the start that no, Stella and Solus did not ever love each other. They were forced into this arrangement only to have Octavia. And being told that would have probably made her feel like she was the problem, she's the burden, even though that's not the case at all. The problem relies in the parents and like the people that forced the parents together. But it's also why like you can tell he had such difficulties. Like one, he can't really find the words to tell her properly. So, but no, it was also kind of shitty what he was doing was bringing Blitz around just to flirt with him, even though he is happier with Blitz.
Yeah. Let's not forget one of the greatest main parts of the plot, which introduced one of the most wonderful characters, being Fizzrolli, even though it was just his robot counterpart.
That whole thing with Blitz and RoboFizz was fucking great.
And now I think back on it, it actually foreshadows something they might show, because I remember one of the things that Fizz would say is, "Oh, I guess the kitties are still running away from you, huh?" So I wonder if we're going to have a tragic backstory animation at some point, which I know they've been foreshadowing forever, but still.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get a lot more with Fizz here soon. I'm really excited.
I think their Falling Out episode's going to happen soon.
I think so, because obviously we've already got Stolas's backstory. We had all that kind of aired out immediately, which I can see why they would do Stolas first, because Blitz is technically more of the main character between the two of them, and you usually want to dangle that kind of information like bait, and only like drip it.
And they teased it in the outline trailer that they did.
Yes, they did. So we will get it eventually, but I think it might be maybe another episode or two before we get it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to come before the end of season 2.
Just want to see the sister, because I remember them saying that, "Oh, your sister reminds me of your mother," kind of thing.
Did they?
I think the dad said that.
No, they didn't. His dad would not have said that.
Okay, no, I remember somebody saying that the sister reminds me of his mom.
I don't think it's that, because the mother's never mentioned until we see her in episode 7.
So
and after that, we don't get anything.
Once,
the only time the sister is mentioned is moving into episode 3 with Veronica. Whenever Blitz insults her, say, like, shouldn't your fat ass still be in rehab? And her saying that rehab is only for washed up losers, and then saying, your sister says hi. Which is the first hint that we kind of got, if you didn't see the images in the background, that Blitz had a sister, or has a sister. Because we don't really pay attention to all the background images, you wouldn't have like learned that prior. Because I believe there is a poster of the Amazing Imp twins, and it has Blitz and Barbie Wire. And yes, that's her name, Barbie Wire.
Yeah.
But yes, what do we think of Spring Break, the Veronica, the X?
Oh, I honestly love.
That was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, I honestly love how they like broke the fourth wall in the middle of the episode as well.
You know the freaks up there who drew all over you,
Luna.
Drool all over you. Yeah.
I mean, I can see even in World, because it's modern time. So, like, it literally showed modern time.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's California or Florida.
Something like that. Doesn't really matter when it's almost all the same.
My favorite part was Drunk Moxie in that whole episode.
Yeah.
He goes, ooh, fish. I love that woman.
And then whenever like Millie's reaching out to grab his hand, he high-fives her.
High-fives that. I laughed my ass
and then he goes, this is funny. I'm so drinky. and then someone says something to him, and he goes, a human called me a possum. I am not a possum. And he just face plants in the fucking sand.
Yeah.
It's really picks him up.
It's one thing that kind of gets me a little bit. It's like, I understand the need for disguises, but at the same time, because of how our world is, people might, like, they also did this in the most recent episode too, where, like, it could also be seen as a costume for what they already have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a little bit of realism for the risk of it.
I suppose.
Yeah, I
But
will have to
still.
admit, like, it really depends on like I was saying, like it really depends on how the world reacts to that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think that made a lot of sense.
I just love the whole bet. All right, we'll see who can outdo each other better. We're gonna murder more people than you could fucking one day.
It's like, are you sure about that?
Yeah, that was.
Because let's be fair, I'm pretty sure Veroska would have won if the whole thing with the fish didn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, technically she did win. They just kind of like extorted her at the end with like the whole fish thing.
Well, yeah, because it's like it was her fault. It happened.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. Also, do you guys want to know something fun? I know I told Ruthless this before.
What was that?
You know who Veroska's voice actress is?
Who?
I forgot, but you've told me before.
So, Raptor, I know you don't watch the show, but Veroska's voice actress is Marinette from Miraculous.
Oh. Interesting.
Yes.
And that shit is wild because I thought her voice was so fucking awkward.
It's
That
funny
is
because like
interesting.
I didn't hear it at first because like I didn't really realize until I was watching Sarcastic Chorus's video on it because he referred to Veroska as slutty or Marinette. And I'm just like, wait, what? And then when I actually go back and listen to it, I can hear it's a specific moment when she yells out, "Are you ready to make some bitchin' bad choices, Arya?" In that moment, I could hear Marinette and her voice. I'm like, oh, yep, there it is. I hear it.
Evil Marinette.
Slutty or Marinette, as Sarcastic Chorus put it. Which I mean,
If
yes.
she became a pimp.
No, not the pimp. Well, the pimp and the bitch at the same time. She's all the above. Let's be fair.
Yes.
But moving on to the next one, the cherubs.
That one. Oh yeah, that was at like when they went to Millie's parents' farm.
No. That's the one before that one.
Oh.
It's the one with the little cherub angels.
Oh.
And they're trying to convince the millionaire not to kill himself, and the imps are trying to convince him to kill himself.
Oh yeah, I know now.
Yes. I didn't care for it too much. Like, it was good, but eh.
I honestly just like the minor part of the plot, which is what it ended up being the main part at the end, with just the two best friends getting back together. But I really just liked how when he ended up actually dying, and then you see him in hell, he looks kind of like Dr. Eggman.
Yes. It does match his friend, though, at least. So, well, on that bright side.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, I don't really have too much to say.
Honestly, I like that part with like what are those three angels called again? Shit, I already forgot.
Cherubs.
The cherubs. They when they weren't allowed back into heaven.
Oh, yeah.
We can't let you back in. Yeah, no.
No.
Wasn't it like an old Midwestern lady's fucking voice?
I have no idea, to be entirely honest with you, but it was funny. It's like that classic, like, yeah, no, sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry.
That was pretty great, and I do like certain things, like when they're messing with the cherubs and everything and whatnot. I like seeing the guys in the dresses. I gotta say, Blitz fucking rocked that outfit, the dress that he was wearing. Like,
Oh
fuck.
yeah, I love
I'm just
that.
like, damn, Blitz, where can I get that dress? No
Oh.
joke. I'm just like, damn.
Barbie Blitz.
Any other thoughts? I know it's like not quite one of the strongest episodes, I'd say, but it's an okay episode.
Yeah, it was definitely an alright episode. Granted,
I can't wait to see the cherubs come back.
Yeah, they're definitely coming back.
Oh yeah, they have
We
to
can at
come
least say
back.
that. No, yeah, they basically got fucked out of heaven because of these guys. They're definitely coming back. It'd be kind of cool to see them fallen, like fallen angels,
Hmm.
and then they tried to exact revenge that way. I think that would be really cool. That's just me thinking, though.
Honestly, I figured they would have like became demons or imps or something and went to hell after that. But are they like stuck on Earth? I'm guessing.
I don't know. You think they would have fallen at that point because they did technically murder someone.
Yeah,
They're banished, so they're probably some outskirt of hell.
like an in
Or in
between heaven and
limbo.
hell.
Yeah,
We'll have to see, right?
yeah.
But moving on from that one, because yeah, it was an okay episode. That's when we have the Harvest Moon. That's when we have the whole Millie's family and the
Yeah.
farm and whatnot. I do like how Moxie was trying to like prove himself for the most part, like that he was a strong, capable man.
Yeah.
I am, and I'm not a possum.
It's like you wish, honey, you wish.
He
I
was
do.
just more than anything, he was just getting his ass kicked by that shark.
Oh my gosh, that shark was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I
especially like
do.
in the mud pit when the shark just like elbowed him.
Motherfuck!
That
That was
shit was
great.
hilarious.
I do appreciate one thing that we do get to see with the imp games, that Blitz is definitely an elite amongst his kind, along with Striker. It puts him on par with Striker, and I think that was a really nice way of showing that, and it was really fun. And also, I just want to make this little comment, but like during the imp games, when I think it's during the mud wrestling, if you look in the background, top right-ish kind of area, you'll see Stolas watching from like the opera box kind of thing. And
Really?
he's got the little glasses and he's fanning himself the entire time while he's watching Blitz mud wrestle Striker.
Oh my god.
It's fucking great. And then like when Blitz flips Striker on, so he's pinning Striker down, like Stolas leans in closer to get a closer look.
Oh
Oh,
my
it was
god.
great. Oh, yeah. I fucking love Stolas. I do like Striker though. I will admit that. Like Striker was a cool guy. What do you guys think of Striker, huh?
Thought he was pretty funny. I loved his
Yeah.
bickering and just shit talking back and forth between him and Blitz mainly.
I would say it was shit talking, not till
Mm,
like the very end. It was more. I liked how Striker knew how to get under Blitz's skin, and
Well,
how
yeah,
to
that's what I
try
mean.
and like. Well, it's not really shit talking though. It's just like manipulating. Well, would you really say it's manipulating? Because I feel like Striker would have genuinely tried to get Blitz on his team because Blitz is on par with Striker. Like it's
yeah.
probably more valuable to have him as an ally.
Then again, I don't think it was actually like working on Blitz. I think he was like stalling because he knew that fuck was coming.
Moxie. I don't know if
Moxie.
he knew he was coming exactly, but I feel like Moxie more interrupted than anything. I don't know. I don't think he knew. I think he just happened to be like walking by, saw that Striker was trying to kill his meal ticket, and I just was like, "Hey, yeah, no, we ain't doing that here, hun."
Or maybe he
Hmm.
was stalling for like anything. Who knows?
But I don't think I don't know, because you could tell Striker was getting under Blitz's skin with the way he was like kind of talking, and
Maybe a
obviously
little bit.
he probably would have seen Moxie coming in, obviously, because like he was the one up against the wall. So he probably would have seen Moxie coming in, but still, like, I don't think he was necessarily stalling.
Mm, I mean, we're definitely gonna see more of him later in the series.
Oh, we already know that in the story, like the teasers. They showed Moxie and Millie fighting Striker while Stolas is tied up to a train track.
Oh, I didn't see the teasers honestly.
Oh, you're missing out. That was great though. Yeah, I
Uh,
appreciate Striker as a villain, and then the
I
whole
just
reveal that Stella's the one trying to kill him,
Yeah, I
trying to
just
kill
knew
Stolas.
from the end of the episode when Stella was the one that hired him to try and kill Stolas.
I mean, necessarily blame her per se. Like, obviously, like, yeah, he kind of like smudged her on her in a way because it's an imp. But at the same time, just like,
I mean,
why do you care so much if you never liked him in the first place?
I really can't bring myself to believe that she
I will be
actually
right back.
felt bad after Stolas cheated on her.
No, she didn't feel bad at all. She was angry. That's all it was. That he would be the one to cheat, which I still don't entirely understand why she's mad. That could just be my viewpoints and perspectives and whatnot, but it feels like that's just to take it out, in my opinion.
Again, like, one thing I kind of find a little bit of the situation kind of weird, and some of it sounds like some of it is not like clearly stated. Like, does she actually hate it, or she just that type of person who was just
No, she
abusive
definitely is.
she
She's
definitely
made
and
it
just wanting
clear.
a punch bag?
No,
And
Ruthless,
just,
she's made it very clear she is an abusive, manipulative
yeah,
person.
but is she like full blown sadistic, or there's like
Yes,
some
she
type of
Ruthless in
Yeah.
episode 1 at the end. She says straight to him. The only reason why she stays around is because she likes tormenting him, reminding him of what he did wrong.
I'm mixing her up with a different character.
Oh, Ruthless. How
With
could
that
you
one,
mix
with that.
Stella up
Who are
with
you mixing up?
anyone? It's Stella.
Well, I mean, there's like one character that is very similar. To the point where I'm
No.
like,
No.
damn. Like the like the abusive and the manipulative, and more or less like using kind of put in the situation where they're just like they have to just go with it, and more of like they're stacking there just to continue the bullshit and just for the kid.
Yeah, but if she's doing it for the kid, why is she trying to kill the father? Like, if she truly cared about Octavia at all, she wouldn't be trying to kill Stolas.
Yeah. Unless
I think
I mean,
also in
even
general,
again, in in season 2, episode 1, she's shown to be very dismissive of Octavia when she says, "At least one egg fell out of me." Kind of showing that she probably doesn't really care about Octavia.
yeah, that, and also throughout the series in general, so far Stolas is really the only one that actually tries to be a parent.
The fact that Octavia is a total daddy's girl.
Yeah. That too.
Yes. But it's I don't know. It just kind of confuses me because I guess I just don't have that mentality. But it's like I don't understand why she's trying to kill him. If she could just leave now, and if she never really cared about him in the first place, why does it matter what he did? Considering they were forced into an arranged marriage that neither of them liked each other, and the fact that she constantly abuses and insults him and things like that. So like I don't understand it personally. I take that as my free pass out of there. That's just what I think, though. But anyone else have any other thoughts on the Harvest Moon episode? Episode 5?
Not me.
Alright, and we move on to Truth Seekers, episode 6.
Ooh, the Truth Seekers.
So I think dorks are an interesting
Dork.
enemy. But at the same time, like, I'm just gonna say this right now, like, their whole plan to expose demons to the world, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of something that's already been done and people still are skeptical.
Yeah.
Like, I understand if, like, you have hard proof, but there's other people who have also claimed to have a hard proof, and even then people are like, "Oh, that's not actually what that is. That's just this or that." Like, they still try to reason with logic of what it actually is.
well, also the fact that like it really depends. Like for one instance, like I can see some of those images of the blurred shit and some of the footage that they had that to prove that demons exist. Someone's saying, "Oh, it's Photoshop," or
Yeah, exactly. Like it's Photoshop, or it's just a costume, or this and that. Like,
yeah, because it's so blurred. Like, look at the camera and look at how it looks. I can easily see someone be like, "There's no way this is real."
And of course, people would convince themselves of these things because it would otherwise, it would like, because they like counter their personal beliefs. Is counter the right word? Uh,
I think
yeah.
that still depends. It still greatly depends. Aside from dorks and their whole like overall goal to like expose demons, which I don't know. What do you guys think of like the acid trips between Moxie and Blitz?
I feel like that was the most vital part of the whole
Yeah.
episode, and it was the best part of it as well, and what really ties everything together towards the end when they go through the big fight scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
True.
And
I do feel
also,
for Blitz.
It's like the
yeah.
feeling they go
Right.
through hell and back and cross lands throughout
Okay,
the trip.
to be fair, Blitz goes to hell and back. Moxie's just having a drama kid moment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be upfront right there. Like, Moxie is having a Disney moment while Blitz is having a fucking badass trip, having all his insecurities and everything laid out to bear, essentially.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I do like Moxie's. That's the one bit of humor to balance out Blitz's trip, which is what you kind of need. I greatly enjoyed like the introduction to it. Like, I swear to Satan, if this is a prank, this is no prank, bitch.
Hey.
Why do you talk like? Why do you sound like that? Because you, my precious little bitch boy, are tripping balls. What? No, how can this
Oh, how could this
be?
be? I've never done that since you're Jordians. It's a bad trip. Boy, good fault.
Of course, Blitz, this would be your fault. My lungs are full of honesty. Will you promise me that you won't judge me? Yes, bitch. I fucking love it. Then first of all, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and I love the like shots in the trips. I just want to like get two that I really love in particular, and that is the one in Moxie's where he's calling Blitz out in particular as he's coming to the very top of the stairs, and how Blitz pushes everyone away with his toxic routine, and Blitz saying, "I don't know. Eventually, everyone goes."
The Beauty and the Beast one.
Yeah, well, and then Moxie saying it's because you're thoughtless and cruel and you'll end up alone. And the moment he says that, you get that where Blitz is kind of looking over his shoulder, and then he turns and you just see like his eye get so small, and with the mask, it just looks like such a good shot. And then you go, my other favorite one is in Blitz's trip as he's coming towards the end of it after he's climbed the golden staircase to Stolas, which I like to also point out that the silhouettes fanning Stolas are actually Blitz's silhouette.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
Yes, it's actually same height, same horns, and build and everything. Like they are basically Blitz. It's basically like a life of servitude to him, but at the same time, like he feels like himself around Stolas too, because you see like as he climbs up closer, yes, he's like almost like because like he's imprisoning himself to Stolas, which is like I can get where that comes from because when I was younger and my family was rife with relationship issues, I used to see relationships as a cage that you were being chained in, essentially. So that could almost be like him seeing like he wants this, but this is what it also feels like to him. which I think is nice. But then, like, when it moves into the next scene where Stolas and everyone vanishes, and they're all mocking him, saying, "You're gonna die alone," and you have the golden feathers covering Blitz, that they're, like, restraining him and everything, that shot that's in pure red with the golden light of the feathers as he's screaming and raging against it, it was so good. I fucking love that one scene, that one shot. But what about you guys? Well, I be right back. Go on, talk.
I will definitely say, I thought the episode was pretty alright. I really kind of interesting. It gets more into the detail of just merely the inside, like the what the character is thinking deep inside the subconscious, and also just opens up the potential holes in like even with what's his name. The name is just blanking for a moment. Oh, Blitz. Blitz and what's his name?
Moxie?
No. God. What? Stolas. Yeah. And the whole servant/master relationship, like that shit was weird. And they were addressing that, and that was like a kind of a very minor issue that was like, this must be addressed soon. And it was addressed. In
Because
form.
Blitz just feels like it's only that,
Yeah. Well,
and he knows it's that more so.
he
So
wants
that's
more. Yeah.
well, he doesn't necessarily think that's what he'll get out of it, so that's why he thinks the way he does about it.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about the scene where? Okay, before we even jump to that scene, how do you just feel about the fight scene once the girls catch up? Once the girls and Moxie catch up.
I had to say it's interesting, but I kind of, if I was going for fight scenes, like if I'm really huge on fight scenes, I would not go to Helluva Boss for it. I would definitely admit.
Why?
No offense, like that one is pretty decent, but if I was going for fight scenes, I would go to like some different animated show.
I feel
don't
like they
know.
handled it really well, all
Yeah, I
things
think the
considering.
fight scenes were really good.
I
It
thought it was
really
pretty
good.
brutal.
Yeah, it was very brutal. It was good shots, especially with Luna's first few shots. There were fucking phenomenal. Like,
Especially with the
beautiful.
action of just using improv weapons.
That
Oh,
too.
I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
bad. It's just like it's something that I personally can see myself be like, okay, I'll go to something else if I'm like having more. But it's a good scene though. I'm not saying it's a bad scene like at all. But if I want a lot of those scenes, and I was just
Well, that's also
emphasizing,
not the point of the series either. It's
Yeah.
more like a comedy slice of, not even say slice of life, but like two broken people trying to not really fix themselves, but like learning to better live with themselves.
also kind of like a soap opera drama
Yeah.
a little
A
bit.
little bit.
I also like how Blitz just keeps like a fucking bazooka in his pocket called my dick.
And the rocket's called Pussy Destroyer.
Yeah. That shit was awesome.
And of course, he has to yell out, "Oh yeah, getting hard holding this thing over here." Just like, oh boy. I also admit another line I do like in that right in the middle, like right before Blitz has his moment where he's about to like show off like his skills and whatnot. Whenever he pulls out the guns and he's like, "Now who wants some quality time with Daddy?" I love that line. And I'm pretty
I
sure
love
Brandon
that
Rogers
line.
loved recording that.
Oh hell
Well,
yeah!
no
Of course he
doubt.
did.
It was fucking great. I love it. Good ass shit. And then the last, like the closing out scene, like the whole thing with Stolas coming in to rescue Blitz, like, oh my gosh, that was great. I love being able to see like Owl Demon in his true form.
Yeah, that was
Terrifying.
terrifyingly badass.
It was. And I do appreciate how whenever Stolas obviously made sure that they were safe, that he, checked on Blitz first, like, hey, are you okay, honey? You doing good?
No, but what about his first line in the entire episode? Who dares threaten my impish little plaything?
Yeah. And then they're going on to possess the demon hunter and whatnot.
Yeah, that was creepy as hell.
Makes their eyes bleed and shit. It's great.
Cracks her neck probably as rotates at 180 degrees like an owl.
Yeah, that was.
Hoot hoot.
Well, I assume that the people he raised drew his sigillum blood around her, so yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty great. And then, of course, the ending where they run off to Frick.
Yeah.
I do like that little, like, almost like tender moment between them where, like, the little ruffle of the feathers.
Yeah.
That was so cute.
Oh, her line he says later near the end.
Which one?
He's like, luckily for you, most of them won't believe a word of the demon-possessed lunatics anyways. They're seen as kooks. Kooks. Such a silly word.
Silly word. Now, let's all return home. It's like, yes, please. I'd like to return to the correct hellhole.
Yeah.
Am I going to get anything for the rescue, Blitzy? Well, I suppose you should. Want me to fuck your brains out tonight? Very much so. Alright, but you're keeping quiet or I'm using those bear traps.
They blushes.
Who?
Yeah, the way his feathers just like.
Owl blush.
And then, of course, they,
Yeah.
He makes like the little coo noise.
I love the little noises Stolas makes throughout the entire series.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
love
gonna
those
say that
noises.
now. Like,
Just change
whoever's
the
idea it was to
as
use,
well
like,
as little
actual
noises.
animal noises, it was fucking great. Like, fucking A+.
Yeah, that was a beautiful touch. It really was.
Just change all your phone sounds to Stolas noises.
Oh my gosh, I fucking would too, don't tempt me.
Yeah.
But, you guys have anything else that you wanna, on Truth Seekers?
I think we really covered most of it.
Alright, then let's move on to the one that broke everyone's heart, episode 7.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was more of like interested what will happen next.
you're
Same
gonna know how
here.
to feel.
Same here. I was looking forward to next more than anything.
It broke my heart. It broke my fucking heart.
Yeah, mine too.
Like, I was bawling my eyes out at the end of that episode, like, holy fuck.
Yeah. I almost cried.
No, I didn't almost. I was fucking ugly crying.
It also had one of Stolas' most quotable lines. That's a mood, Gabriella. when he's watching the when he's watching the Hella novella.
Hello, novela. I want you love me, Alejandro.
Are you asking me on a date, Litzy?
Are you asking me on a date, Blitzy? It's like,
I suppose
yes,
that's
I
what's
am.
happening.
How fast can you get down to Lust? I can be there in 20. Alright, see you then. I'll see you, Blitzy. And then the fact that it does take him like 20 seconds to get ready was also the icing on the cake.
Yep.
And also that, like, the fucking starry cape that Stolas wears, I would fucking wear that.
I like also when Blitz was tried to like seduce that bouncer
Oh,
to get it.
You have nice eyes, Daddy.
Daddy.
And he gets thrown into the
Thrown
dumpster. You fucking prude! I do appreciate that, but I do
Yeah.
feel sad that Stolas was used to get for
Yeah.
Blitz to get into the club.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, 'cause I know how Stolas feels for.
We
for
all
Blitz.
do. It's kind of obvious. I mean, the moment that he went nuts over the prospect of a date, nonetheless. That much was clear. And like just the
also,
awkwardness of him trying to talk to Blitz when Blitz is just trying to spy on the M&Ms.
yeah.
Mhm.
And also
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
the end, when Blitz is just trying to say he's not in like the mood to fuck or anything, he's like, we could just
Okay, well,
talk or watch a movie.
we'll get to that in a little bit, but
Yeah,
It's more near the end.
yeah.
yeah, we're making our way through there. What do we think of seeing the real Fizzerali, though?
He's adorable.
I will
He's
say,
the most adorable little denizen crackhead you've ever seen.
oh my gosh, keep that guy far away from me.
Yeah, keep that guy far away from me.
I fucking loved him. He was a treat. Although I will say it wasn't Blitz and Solus that burned down Lululand. It was actually all Wally's fault because he was the one selling the torches.
Mm.
So I put the blame on Wally, not Blitz. Like Blitz may have landed into them, but RoboFizz threw him into them. So like, is Blitz really to blame?
I have one thing to say about
Well, I think
Fizzaroli.
it's more the fact
Jingle
that
jingle.
Jingle jingle. You know me too well. I was watching that again with Celia when she came over, and all I could hear was jingle jingle. I'm like, oh, I love it. But also, moving on from Fizz a little bit, I will also put some blame on Moxie for what happened in the episode because, like, man comes up here trying to sing a love song in a fucking, like, strip club, essentially.
yeah.
In the red light district.
Yeah, like, dude, you don't do that kind of stuff here. This isn't your lovey-dovey kind of place.
I don't think you realize exactly.
I mean, it's. I don't know.
He
I
did,
mean,
but he didn't.
right, like he did. Like it's lust. Like
He thought it would be acceptable within the realm of the facility.
I don't know. I'm probably with him, but like you can kind of tell like Blitz knew better because like he kind of flinched when Moxie started saying like, "Oh no."
I mean, I just don't think he thought the fucking demon of that specific sector of hell even was going to be at the restaurant that night.
What do you mean? That was his club.
Well, it was, of course, yes, it is, but I don't think he expected him to be there every single day.
He probably makes an appearance at least fairly often though.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
But still.
it's his go-to place. It's Ozzy's.
Yeah, it's just not a thing he expected to like be such a conflict. Is all I'm saying.
I don't know. Like, eh.
He just wanted to have a cutesy night. He's trying his best. Okay.
Yeah. The result, like, he still got his cutesy night, but then he fucked over someone else unintentionally, who then also fucked over their own self. So like, everyone's fucking over each other.
Yeah.
Nah, I still don't think Moxie has any blame. Moxie just
do.
wanted wholesomeness, and he got wholesomeness.
Yeah, it's singing a fucking love song in a strip club. That's I don't know. I feel like you should know a little bit better than that.
Yeah, but the whole crowd loved it.
Not at first.
Well, near the end though, which is what matters.
It's because that's all. They had kind of. There's really not much left. Just kind of had to put up the last bit of it. I don't know. Like, I still put a little bit of blame at Moxie's feet for that.
Nah, he's too cute that episode.
I don't care. I still do. I do like Asmodeus though.
Same.
Like
Honestly, I think he just put too much thought in it for me to even really like care about that. For me, it's like the thought that counts.
Well, we moved on to Asmodeus, Raptor. The big rooster boy.
Rooster boy.
Rooster boy. And the little owl boy.
Oh my god, if he was voiced by the same rooster tunes, it would have been fucking hilarious.
Oh, for
Now you
fuck's
got
sake.
that image in my head.
I'm glad he wasn't. His voice works perfectly well with what he's got.
I know.
That way we think of the song of House of Asmodeus.
There were so many memes off just the one line. It was great.
What? Give me a thrust.
What if you died and God said, "Just give me a thrust"?
Oh my gosh. That's true. That's a very interesting song, especially when it came to like Fizz's little part there in the middle, when he was like trying to encourage Moxie to like sing a little more M-rated.
Mm.
It's a little eh. And then of course, you know, Blitz has to stand up to defend them because they're family and everything. So
Yeah.
Fizzaroli cutting into Moxie's love song. Ozzy's ain't place for his sentimental sounds.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean that's fair.
I just love the mocking vibe he had the whole time.
And then I got worried obviously when it came to Blitz. Then Froska joins in on that, and then poor Osmodius goes after Stolas. Poor baby. And Stolas.
Is that the Owl Prince? Is that the
Is
Goetia
that,
Prince with
is
an
that a
M?
demon prince? Stolas, is that you?
Are you fucking an imp?
No, are you sleeping with an imp?
Ah, whatever.
Ooh, my
Same
dark
thing.
lord, how the mighty do fall. Oh my gosh.
I
Like,
also
so-
love how half of Asmodeus is singing. Fizzaroli isn't even singing the whole time. He's playing the trumpet.
He's not even playing the trumpet, he's pretending to.
Still, just the fucking sounds that he makes from it still.
I know, it's great. Fizz is great. I do hope to see more of Fizz here soon. Like,
Jingle,
And
jingle,
it's like-
jingle.
jingle, jingle, jingle.
Listen, if I don't get a Christmas plush of him with jingle bells,
You'll probably find something else with jingle bells and put it on me regardless.
you're right.
Probably just give me a hat, like an elf hat with jingle bells on it, and you're gonna have to deal with jingle, jingle all the fucking time.
Good.
You'll
At
be
least
so
know
sick
when
of
you
it.
are and you won't be sneaking up.
You say that now, but trust me,
Like that
I've
one
still scared
quiet,
people.
like that one quiet kid in class. Like, God, we need to put a bell on you.
I am that quiet kid. I still scare people. But you know, going back to the episodes, like I feel bad for Stolas, and like I understand that, like, you know, he was trying to kind of save face a little bit, but he also just like confirmed all of Blitz's, like, you know, insecurities and whatnot. So I feel bad. Like they do just need to talk, but we're not gonna get that just yet, unfortunately, because it's just how it is. But it did break my heart a little bit seeing obviously the ending scene with obviously, like you were saying earlier, after like how Blitz just assumes that Stolas just wants to fuck, even though
Yeah.
Stolas does want more. But the problem is, Blitz does have a point in the way that Stolas has been presenting himself, and the relationship with Blitz is purely a physical and contractual one.
Then again, I can't really blame Stolas too much because he hasn't really experienced like true love until
I wouldn't even
this.
say this is true love. It's just a matter of like attraction, is what I would call it. He hasn't really experienced attraction.
Yeah, I guess so. That too.
And like again, like also like we'll get more into that in just a moment, but like and again, like if he did want more, he needed to have directly told Blitz, or at least changed his approach. Because again, like the way that he was approaching Blitz with the relationship and contract before was a purely physical one, which is going to create problems because Blitz just sees it as that, but Stolas is seeing more because he's kind of convinced himself of more. A comfortable lie, if you will.
Honestly, I think if it's like the first real time, I think that stuff would be like a little complicated.
It's going to be complicated regardless because you have Blitz, who is just a bag of emotional issues. Like, holy fuck, like, I relate on so many levels, Blitz. But And it does take some time to get out of those kind of issues. Being able to be vulnerable with people, being able to open yourself up to allow people in, that's probably one of the most terrifying things you can actually do if you've experienced a lot of betrayal and heartbreak and trust issues and things like that. The hardest thing you can do is actually open yourself back up, to allow yourself to be vulnerable and to expose that vulnerable part of yourself to someone so close to you, because that is something he also wants. He wants intimacy like what the M&Ms have, but that kind of intimacy that he desires requires him to give that vulnerable part of him to someone else, to open him up that much. And that's not something he's really willing to do just yet, because he's not yet at that point, unfortunately. And we're going to probably see more of that. We've already seen where some of it stems from. But
Yeah.
Blitz is just, he's got a lot of issues, and they're not the easiest issues to work out either, is the thing. So he's got a lot to go through. And the fact that like they kind of do just really need to talk and lay everything on the table. Because as it stands, like they haven't talked since what happened with Aussies. And like it seems like they're still going on with their contract, but we don't know like all the details, obviously. So we'll see coming forward. But I don't know. They really do just need to talk and just lay everything on the table. That's the easiest thing to do, but like it's also the hardest thing to do as well.
Personally, can't wait for the backstory for their scars for the most part. Part of it
Yeah.
is because people want to see how much of Fizzaroli's face is scar or if it's makeup at all.
And the fact that how he lost his legs and arms, probably his horns too.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. His whole face is scarred. Good lord, it's perfect reason to be the way he is then.
Yeah, and then you see Blitz is pretty much mostly scarred as well.
Yeah.
But that makes me wonder about Moxie's like freckles. Are like
Probably got splashed with acid one day. Nothing crazy.
we'll see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
then-
those devils can take acid like it's no tomorrow. If they can't, they're pussies.
Oh jeez. Anyone else have any thoughts on episode 7?
Just
how sad
only wish that there would be episode 8, but I will
Well,
get into it.
technically, with episode 8, they had stated and made it clear that it wasn't going to include anything related to season 2 or the ending of season 1, obviously. That from what I've seen, on Twitter and things like that, it's supposed to be a Blitz and Luna episode.
Then it kind of makes a lot of things feel weird because there was a lot of shit to figure out, and not knowing what happened, that was kind of like what when it
To
really.
be fair, like we are getting what happened afterwards. The episode 1 of season 2 starts off like probably what is it? Sela has Via on the weekends, so it's probably like that start of that week. Probably Monday or like I'd probably say Monday. So that Monday after what happened with Ozzy. So like we are getting exactly what happened afterwards.
Yeah, then why? But that kind of makes now like a confusion, but like kind of creates a confusion. But that will get into like the next season thing where I kind of have a more of a confusion.
I don't know. I feel like I see where some people get with it, but I don't necessarily see like I see what they mean because I've seen the teasers, I've seen some of the gifs that they had posted regarding it, and like I don't think there's a whole lot of confusion because it probably would have been something of a filler episode, but given us time with Blitz and Luna and probably seeing how Blitz probably handling it. But at the same time, you can also make some guesses at how Blitz is probably handling it as well. He's just gonna keep doing what Blitz does, essentially.
Oh, again, that's why it kind of gets into like the second season thing of like trying to understand what the fuck happened afterwards.
I don't know. I feel like it's pretty clear because again, like season 2, episode 1, it's right after what happened with Ozzy's. You
Yeah,
can tell
but
it's like it's the day right after because Stolas got himself fucking piss ass drunk.
why fucking stole us? And they were so like continuing. It's almost exactly the same shit. Like it kind of makes no sense to me of like why the day after that whole fallout they would be perfectly fine.
Okay, so here's my thing. I know this is like episode 2, but I'm just gonna get into this right now. I know a lot of people are saying how it feels like they're back to normal. And this could just be me having to live around family members who were in relationships that could not stand each other, but still stayed together and still like put up appearances and whatnot. That's what I see. I see either an old divorced couple that still are attracted to each other but can't really stand each other, or an old married couple that just tolerate each other and like occasionally kind of like poke at each other. That is the vibe I got the entire time. Because one, you can tell immediately like Stolas was not defaulted back to normal. He never once referred to Blitz as Blitzy. It was Blitz the entire time. So there was still that professional thing. Because at the end of season 1, he referred to him as Blitz at the very end. Not Blitzy, but Blitz.
I can see that.
So you got
Oh.
that. Then there is the sass that came in because we never really saw. We saw some sass, obviously, but the way he was in that episode was a little more aggressive with the sass, especially with the first kind of big interaction where Blitz is like, "Hey, can you conjure up some of those for us as well?" And he's just like, "Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I can't. Without my grimoire, I'm a little limited in the human world." And of course, Siblis like, "Wait, what? You can't remember your fucking spells? Oh, your memory's so great. What's his phone number? Fuck you. Exactly. Like that. That feels petty to me, and that's what I love. Because that sounds like something I would do if I wanted to be a bitch to someone, and probably have done at some point, and just don't remember it. Yes, I know. But like that's what that reminds me of. It reminds me of someone being petty and being just like trying to prove a point by also being a bitch as well, because Stolas has had enough. And that much is clear. Like he's kind of like snapped. Something like a switch flipped in him. And even moving forward, like obviously like seeing Blitz as Brennan Ragers, you see that little smile, like, oh yeah, there you go, you look good. I kind of think like maybe there could be some attraction there, which is fine because you can still hate someone and still be like physically attracted to them. You see it all the time. But and like yeah, like obviously Blitz would call out to Stolas and Luna to help him out because like he's being fucking manhandled by a mob of people. And Stolas, I can see very easily being kidnapped as well because like he may be a strong demon with powers, but I don't think he's like strong himself. Like if you know what I mean. So like them getting kidnapped, like essentially like that makes sense because like he tried to step in being the Mr. Rager's agent, which that's on him for that one. And I know the scene that gets people a lot is when Stolas gives Blitz the pep talk, like what was it? Yeah, thank you, Dandy. But when he gives him the pep talk, like if your performance on stage is as half as good as in bed, you'll leave them breathless.
Cold
Like
sweats.
pretty much. Like I can see where some people there would be a little like put off, but again, it still leans into that whole like just because they're at odds right now doesn't necessarily mean they won't poke. Because I've seen people do this a lot. Like they can be mad at each other, but they'll still poke. Again, it could just be my own experiences and what I've seen from these type of people. But that's what I see. Like, they're not back on perfect terms. Like, obviously, like, Stolas is kind of riling Blitz up a little bit. You can see it here and there. And Stolas still loves Blitz, regardless. And that's still going to show through. So, like, I get how some people might feel like it is off, or even see that it's off. But to me, it really is just a married couple that, or a divorced couple that just tolerate each other, but still know how to push each other's buttons to rile each other up. Like, yeah, it's just, the context is still there. I think it's just how the media is being consumed and interpreted. Because I am very well aware of, like, people having that same stance that if something feels like it's missing. But to me, it felt oddly natural, only because I've been surrounded by those type of people my entire life. So to me, that feels normal. Like, the way that Blitz and Stolas were acting was very normal to me. It also made for some good comedy too, which ultimately this is also a comedy, so like, you know. That's my whole spiel on that. So I do agree with Vivzie's stance and do trust that what she says regarding episode 8 is that we don't need the context of that episode to move forward with season 2. I fully believe, this is coming from me as both a artist and a writer, that if it did have something important before moving on with season 2, they wouldn't have started airing season 2 until they aired episode 8.
Yeah, it's more of a grand visual finale, is how they describe it.
Yeah.
Like,
Think
it's
about
their
now.
hardest and the largest amount of time and effort and money they put into an animation as a solo thing. Is that what that episode is? But doesn't necessarily isn't extremely crucial to the plot.
Yeah, it's like a grand finale to finish out the first season before going into season 2. But then, of
Yeah.
course, they had issues with being able to release and air it, likely due to legal issues. So we have to wait for it. And again, like I said, if it did have something to do with season 2, with crucial information to the plot, they wouldn't have started airing season 2. We'd still be waiting. That much I do know as a creator myself. Because if something is important to the plot, then you will make sure that you get that out first before anything else. That is just me as a creator going on my little tangent there. But like, I fully do believe Vivzie when she says that episode 8 is not crucial, and that what we have is what we like is what's important, like to the story, like season 2. So there's that. Now going back to episode 1 of season 2. What do we think, guys?
All I have to say is baby Stolas.
I know BB Stolas.
The squishy babies.
I will admit, I
They're
didn't really
so
care
adorable.
too much for the kid parts of the episode, which obviously was like more like half of it.
I love how his dad sells them off for like a pocket lint, a few bills, and a fucking condom.
It's like, hey, what do you got in your pocket? A 1 out of 5 and a slim fit condom.
Slim
That's
fit
plenty.
That
I know a slim fit condom. It's
was kind of fucked.
And he just said, "That's perfect."
It's like, yeah, that's plenty. Splendid. Oh, I love Paimon. And Cash Buxo. Yes, his name is Cash.
It's not very cash money of you.
Oh my gosh. And the fun part is that both Paimon and Cash are voiced by Jafar's voice actor.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun telling Celia about that too. She tried to, I had her try and guess first. She first guessed it, thought it was someone from Frozen. I'm like, you're wrong on the movie, but you're in the right like company.
I just want to know how old the kids are that actually voiced the fucking characters, and if they were allowed to see the episode.
No idea. I do want to ask you guys on this thing because I already know Skull's opinion because we touched on it before in another episode. But with the revelation that Stolas and Blitz met once as kids, would you classify that as a childhood romance?
No.
Thank you.
No.
Thank
I
you.
mean, not
I would
really.
say
Only if Stolas had the crush since then, which he did not. He saw them he longed for a best friend then and did not harbor any kind of like of those type of emotions or feelings.
And obviously, like there was an attraction there, but it was also an attraction for the adult.
It was more so just that basic attraction for a friend, like the need for a friend and the
No, that
enjoyment
blush
of
and
having a
then
friend.
that I will handle him accordingly is like,
Yeah.
Well, that later on, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was
They're
talking
older.
about.
That's different. It's way different.
I know it's way different at that point. Some things have developed.
Hello. I was concerned for a second. I was like, "Wait, what are we talking about here?"
Like when they're an adult. No, yeah, like
No, no, because you said that. I'm just thinking of him singing it as a kid. I'm like, "Oh God, no!"
no, as an adult.
Wait, go back.
Wait, go back. No, it just like, and I think what also gets me too is like, I don't know how you guys interpreted the scene of when Stolas initially took Blitz back to his room and was like talking to him, but Stolas does obviously remember Blitz clearly, but Blitz does not remember Stolas.
Really?
He only remembers him a little bit.
Like
God knows
'cause
that.
you can kind of tell, or I'm gonna just point this out, Raptor. So if you're paying attention to the Blitz more than Stolas, because like I know Stolas is like the main one in the frames, but if you're paying attention to Blitz off of the side, you'll kind of see where he takes that moment where he's trying to think, and that oh yeah, like I've had like that exact kind of tone. I'm just like oh yeah, I remember you when I don't. So he's obviously like playing him. Because like then he sees the book and he's like, well yeah, I just thought, I try doing this. Like he kind of keeps that tone of like it's acting like he remembers, but really he's just playing a part.
He just remembers Owl Boy, and that's about it.
He remembers Owl Boy and Grimoire, and that's it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Rich Owl Boy and Grimoire.
Which again, like yes, like he didn't remember at all until like Stola started kind of like, showing that how well he remembered Blitz, essentially. Which also, kind of like put like how can I say this? So I understand Blitz's mentality of because it was painted out clearly in Truth Seekers. What's the point of letting people in when they're all just gonna leave eventually? So, and the fact that Stolas being this one person who remembers all these details from their one encounter was like kind of like pushed back against what Blitz had initially thought. And like you can see it kind of get to him just a little bit, not much, but you still see an impact. Ooh. Also, I do think it's pretty sad that the first time that they fucked was pity sex. Poor Stolas.
I didn't see it too much as pity sex and more so just as his foolproof way of getting out of it.
No, that was pity sex.
That was pity sex.
Like,
He
could've
could have
just
got.
left.
Yeah, he could have just left. Like he tied up Stolas. Stolas had no idea what the fuck was going on. He thought
Yeah.
Blitz was just coming on to him. So, like,
Yeah.
Blitz could have easily just left at any time. But no, the moment Sola said, the person who wants me is my first ever friend, yes.
Yeah, he
Like,
just
that's
stops and he's like, all right, fine.
you could see the regret. He's like, ah, shit. The regret and the guilt. He's like, I did this. So,
Yeah.
let me finish up what I started here.
I can do
He's
this
like,
real
let me
fast.
fluff his cushion.
Morning after real fast.
Morning after real fast. I love that.
It's like, are you sure real fast there, buddy?
Oh, sorry, I fucked your husband.
What the fuck
What
was that,
Stolas?
That was the sound of
a fucking
divorce. Oh, that again, the best moment in that entire episode.
That'll never get old.
No, it won't. It really won't. And then you feel bad for him because, like, poor man just fucking like drunk himself till he blacked out with the what was it, absinthe? Is that what it was
Something.
called? Something like that. And then the
Yeah.
whole song, the Stolas sings. Oh my gosh, I do like it. It is short, obviously, but like I love it.
Yeah.
Cause like that's the moment when like he does realize that everything between him and Blitz is just a lie that he's told himself. Which is sad, but like I'm glad he's not blaming Blitz at any point in this. Because it was really just Stolas. Who thought there was something more to be had, but there wasn't. It was just a lie. And how he's still kind of just trapped.
I mean, I still feel bad for him though. Like,
I mean, how can you not? To be fair, like, I really do feel for Stolas because obviously I've kind of been in that kind of situation where you still feel trapped by the expectations and everything of those around you and things like that, and you're not really free, even if you think you are. Like, you're still in that cage, and no matter what you say or do, it won't really matter in the end because you're still here, trapped. So I do sympathize on that regard because it sucks. It really does.
yeah.
But at the same time, like, I sympathize with Blitz as well because, like, yeah, that's a whole baggage of trauma right there. But I do appreciate that Stolas was actually able to break free from Stella and put his foot down. Like, that was a beautiful moment.
Yeah, it was. I was waiting for that.
I think we all were. So I'm glad it came, and I'm glad he was able to like finally put his foot down and whatnot. And again, like he snapped. He's done. He's done playing the part that he's been doing this entire time. Again, like he said, you're exhausted from your time on stage, and now his time is coming. He's like, man, fuck this all. So that's why I really enjoy the beginning of the next episode. Like, yeah, you get your cute little moment with Octavia and whatnot, but but then you come in with Stolas on the phone with Stella trying to get all her shit out of the house.
Yeah.
Like, throw all your shit away. What? What did you tell them?
No, it was go ahead and break whatever you have to, just get it all in there.
That. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
What? What did you tell them to do?
Aneurysm.
It's like, honey, can we not talk about this right now? Your mother's being a real bitch. Which is funny because someone on Twitter pointed this out, and I do believe them when they say this, because obviously, like, Stella like has her brother and whatnot, and Jelfus. But if you listen after he spells out bitch, whenever she yells out what, you can hear like squawking in the background, and they say that that's probably Angelphus laughing.
Really?
Which I think is true because I'm just like, yo, I believe it. I don't know, because like looking at the art for Angelphus, he looks like a fabulously icy bitch, and I fucking love it. I want him. Like, as much as I want to see more Fizz and Blitz's backstory, what I ultimately want is to see Andrelphus. Because I feel like he's going to be this just like perfect bitch character. Like we have Stella, who's mean bitch, but I feel like Androphis is gonna be the fun one. The one that's like you want to hate them, but they're just so. There's a word for it. I can't think of it, but like you want to hate them, but you can't, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm really looking forward to because I'm just like, come on, I want to see Androphis. I
think
want my
this
Elsa bird.
It's also gonna be a double thing with also being like the assassination episode.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like
We'll have to see.
if not him being the assassin, it'll probably be like him being the decoy
No,
working
no,
with
no. It's gonna be
Stella.
Striker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
Striker.
true.
Yes, she's already got Striker on it.
Forgot about that. I think Adrelphus will be like the distraction.
I don't know. I feel like I don't think Androphis is gonna be like that kind of character. I think I saw art of this on Pinterest where what someone wanted their relationship to be was like a genuine like brother or sister healthy one. But what we're probably actually going to get is a bitch, a bitchy Androphis like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna laugh at you and continue laughing at you because it's funny. And it's
Toxic
for my own.
birds
Yeah,
walking in the
toxic bird.
distance.
Which it makes sense because I mean, like, look at how Stella is. What a little monster she is.
Yeah.
But okay, I feel for Octavia in this episode because, like, yeah, Solus is just a little too absorbed in Stella, but Stella is also like taking him away from Octavia, so it's like, eh.
Mm.
It's like I do feel for her, but at the same time, I think she should also see like what kind of a bitch her mom is being. But that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, I kind of do see that too. Like, she should. Yeah, I feel like she should have like seen. Yeah, what you said. How much of a
Like she
bitch
should have
she is.
seen the signs essentially, because like I don't know how much Via gets out and all that, but some things are a little hard to miss. And I understand like some things might seem normal to her, but I don't know. It could just be me. Because like, you have to consider like the environment she's grown up in. Like we don't know how normal all of this actually was, or if it's just because he cheated on Stella that maybe she thinks Stella's justified in this rage. But like even then, it feels like a little too far at times. But I don't know. We'll have to see. It's like we don't know enough about Stella and her relationship with Via or like all that. We just see Stolas and Via, so hard to say. Though I will say the scene where she breaks in is hilarious because the only one who actually sees her is Luna, and even Luna cannot give a damn. It's like one of my favorite moments for Luna.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then the phone call. Oh my gosh, the phone call to tell Stolas what happened. I love how it like went all smoothly. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that went really well." Then Stolas just shows up, breaks down the door, and he's like, "All right, motherfuckers, where's my daughter?
Yeah.
How could you do this?" I also like seeing Demon Owl Stolas again.
Yeah.
No, it's even if it wasn't like the actual full-on demon, it was still kind of cool seeing that come through. Like he was angry.
You were Angry Bird.
He was a very angry bird.
Angry Birds.
Oh dear lord.
Mhm.
And I know we talked already about the whole like, you know, with them going into like how the whole relationship is with Stolas and Blitz and all that. So like, I do appreciate that. Even though in several points of the episode, like you're kind of thinking, well, why don't they just leave at this point or do this and do that? But like, I appreciate that they were kind of ignoring the most obvious routes just so they could let the future stepsisters talk to each other and actually meet for the first time, not just looking at each other. Which was a very touching moment too. I love seeing Luna and Via. Like Luna makes a very good older sister.
Yeah.
And then seeing Luna's backstory is just Poor girl.
Yeah.
Basically raised in a prison. Ain't that fun?
Yeah,
Ain't that fun?
saw that woman in charge of the shelter. Just the way she said, "That's just Luna. She won't amount to anything much."
I mean, from the looks of it looks like Luna had been in there almost all her life.
Yeah.
Like you
Really
see all the
sad.
like marks on the wall and everything too. So it's like, yeah, that sucks a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyone have any other thoughts, either on episode 1 or 2 of season 2? Yes, no, maybe so.
Mm,
Episode 1.
Well, season 2, episode 1 and episode 2.
Oh yeah, I seen both of those. Yeah. Immediately I was spacing out a little bit. I was so like, I'm a little bit out of it. So yeah.
Well, any thoughts, comments, theories, anything, predictions?
No, I'm not making any predictions because this is kind of one of the shows where I'm like, yeah, I might like I can't really predict any like I cannot really predict anything mainly because my memory is just that shit about it, and also just like it's one of the shows I just watch just because it's like I hear a lot about it, I hear a lot of chatter, so I might as well check it out. But I don't really like. I'm not the most actively invested in it merely, but it's a very interesting show slash series.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's bad, and I know it sounds like I'm saying it's bad, but it's not. It's not at all. It's just not that invested, mainly because the humor. The type of humor doesn't land 100% with me, but I can definitely see it being entertaining. So, yeah.
That's kind of interesting because it almost feels like a lot of dark humor too.
Yeah, it's just like a certain, like, it has a lot of the dark humor, right? But it's just like I think the type of dark humor is just not landing with me. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it just doesn't always land with me.
Right.
I'm like the person who makes like sends like the most edgiest memes possible.
Well, if you want to call them edgy, more like cursed, but okay.
I mean,
There's a difference.
have you seen the? Okay, this will now get into a tangent, but I'll just say it. The one with
Ruthless, anything you've posted to the following channels, Your Cursed Corner or the NSFW chat, I have muted because I do not want to see that shit.
oh, I sent him shitty memes.
Oh, I don't remember which one it was then. You're gonna have to refresh my memory.
It was the Goku one with
How long ago did you post it?
Really?
Yeah, like how long ago did you post it? Because I don't remember.
It was a while ago. Then
Oh, well,
because
I don't remember then.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to post it again in order for me to like see, but I don't know.
I'll probably show it after the podcast or whenever.
All right. What about Raptor and Soul? Any thoughts before we close out?
not from me. Nope.
Soul.
That old soul blade. Dandy.
I think he's gone. All right.
Oh.
Well, I think we are done here, probably.
Later, bitches.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Anyways,
Uh,
hey, did you just fucking
he
leave?
did. That was great. Just like, oh, we're done. All right, sweet. Bitch out. Oh, that was great. He just leave. He did. He absolutely did. Oh, that was great. All right. Yeah, take us out, Raptor.
Alright. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the case may be for you. And we will see you guys next time.